everybody. David here from Living Tech. Thanks for joining me. I previously created a 3-part YouTube video series on the unboxing, installation, and review of the BlackVue 750S 2-channel dashcam system for my Tesla Model X. More recently, the company BlackBoxMyCar reached out to me and asked that I review BlackVue's new LTE version of the same dashcam system. I was happy to do that, so here we are. Okay, so super fast unboxing here. We've got rear camera, front camera, guides, power cable, pry tool, micro SD card, SIM ejection tool, 2-sided tape, cable retention clips, USB card reader, and cable connecting front and back camera. If you're planning on installing a BlackVue 2-channel dashcam into your Tesla Model X, I highly recommend that you view all of my 3 previous videos on this. I'll leave links to these videos in the comments below. The reason that it's important that you do that is that installing the dashcam in the Tesla Model X is made more difficult by the helicopter-like windshield that the Model X has. The 3rd video will likely be of most help to you, followed by the 2nd video, and finally the 1st video, which is just an unboxing. First of all, I'll show you the difference between the 2 cameras. This is the old camera, and this is the new one. So I think if I, calculated the volume of each one, I'm guessing that this would be at least 50% more than this one. I think part of the reason for the additional size is that there are a lot more heat dissipating vent holes in this model versus the other one, which is going to be make the electronics probably more solid. It also requires a bigger envelope to hold the new LTE circuitry. Replacing the non-LTE with the LTE version ended up being trivial. I'll break it down for you here. Both the 12-volt power cable and the cable connecting the back to the front camera are identical between the 2 dashcam models, so no wires to change. Bonus. The next thing is the back camera is identical between the 2 dashcam models, so not only are they directly swappable, but you can just leave the old camera there if you like, as I did. Finally, the front camera is bigger, as I showed you, so it does not install into the old bracket, so you'll have to swap in the new bracket. This entails removing the old bracket. To do this, I just got some dental floss and started at one corner and moved diagonally down the bracket till I got to the other one. Dental floss gets right in behind the sticky stuff, the double-sided tape or whatever is used. It gets right down behind that and makes it super easy to get off. You just have to be patient, and I found that the tape kind of dental floss doesn't work very well. It breaks readily. So try and get just the normal string-looking kind, the older kind, and that should do perfectly for you. You're going to be left with sticky residue from the 2-sided tape on the windshield, and if you use some isopropyl alcohol, it comes off really quickly. The last part is to install the new bracket. The camera has to be offset towards the passenger side, maybe 30 millimeters more than the previous version, and this is to keep the camera centered on the longitudinal axis of the car. So that's it for swapping out the hardware. So the biggest challenge of doing this review is that I found that between the cloud connectivity, the SD card, the Wi-Fi connectivity, the unit basically does everything. So that means there are a lot of features to review. I can't go into all of the features here, so I'm going to cover mostly my own use case. First thing I was wondering about is how much data do I need? The short answer, and I sourced this from BlackBoxMyCar itself, was, it's an informal guidance, but 2 gigabytes for a normal user per month and a heavier user 4 gigabytes. And that should get you through. You can sort of do your own calculation in terms of what you expect to be downloading per month. The remote and live view data consumption looks like this, and backup playback data consumption looks like this. I don't currently have a plan. In the meantime, I plugged my phone SIM into the dashcam to test the unit, and this worked perfectly. Here's how you get that done. Again, super easy. Using a SIM eject tool, eject the tray, put in your SIM, put the tray back in. Now you download the app from the App Store, set up a user ID, launch it, set up the SIM. It automatically sees your IMEI and SIM ID, and you save it and you're good to go. Now it's time to connect the back camera to the front camera through that cable and then plug in the power. So as it boots, the record, GPS, and Wi-Fi LTE lights all come on, then they go off, and then recording starts. So here I am taking off from home the first time with the dash cam running. There was nothing sort of surprising about it. Those of you who are Tesla cool might wonder why, if I've already got 8 cameras in the car, why I would want 2 more. These BlackVue cameras are much higher fidelity. The colors are much better. There's no hardware filters like there are on the Tesla, for the front anyway, camera. And so it's a much better experience. Plus the LTE connectivity is amazing. I did a bunch of tests to make sure the LTE worked, obviously, and also to get a feel for its latency. In one such test, I took a video of my viewing of the LiveView stream at the same time as viewing the actual scene outside the vehicle. My goal was to measure that latency. So I launched the Cloud app on my iPhone, click on the camera. You see some of the old footage from my old camera because it's the same account. Click on LiveView and it brings me to this screen. It's following me along, and it's got the map below. This is the low-res version. It's just a screen cap from the phone. I'm parking here so I can start my latency tests. So from right here, where that red car is passing the post, I'm starting the clock, and ending right here where the red car is passing the post on the phone. And the purpose of this is I wanted to know what the latency was between real time and the cloud view of the camera. And while I do understand that this is affected by many factors, I just wanted an idea of what I could expect in the future. In a second, you'll see a white pickup truck coming around the building from right to left. And when comparing it with the live view that I'm getting from the cloud or on the phone, it's not really a big difference at all. So I was pretty impressed, honestly. Another test was to have my wife drive on her errands as I screen recorded live view from my computer. This worked out well. I downloaded the BlackVue Cloud Viewer, and so I installed that on my Mac, and this is a low resolution version of the video. From this screen alone, you can flip the camera left, right, up, down. You can access the rear camera. You can communicate with the driver by clicking the microphone icon. Then when you go back to the main screen, you can see where your car is. You can see a little thumbnail of the video. Actually, it could be bigger if you increase the size of that window. But in this screen, you can see the camera settings, info. You can change the name, unregister the camera. You can share the camera with somebody. You can do a remote firmware upgrade. The choices are just seemingly endless. I'll just cycle through these screens, especially in the firmware, just so you can sort of read along yourself. And it's pretty self-explanatory, but you can see that there are 5 tabs: basic, sensitivity, system, Wi-Fi, and cloud. So sensitivity is mainly the G sensor and motion detection. You can read the options here. Wi-Fi options, cloud options. When you do ultimately save and close, then it will do a restart of the camera so that the new settings can take effect. All of this is automatic. And of course, if you get bored, there are a number of people who use BlackVue dash cams who share their footage for anybody to see. That's their choice, of course. If they're not concerned with privacy or whatever, then they do that. So I mean, this is San Francisco, and you can see the people who are speeding. You can see, people who are just parked there, and you can click on their camera and get their footage, which is sort of interesting. It's sort of like a family of BlackVue users. To me, one of the most important features of this kind of cloud-connected camera is that I can get real-time notifications for things that have gone wrong. Say the car is being broken into. There's an auto upload feature, event auto upload, and there's also these notifications that timestamp each event. So this is precisely the functionality that I was hoping to see. And as you can see here, you can select one or more categories so that you can ignore the ones that you're not concerned with. And that just makes navigation of these events much easier. When you click on the time, it offers you a calendar, which makes browsing this list much more efficient. I really like that feature. BlackVue gives you a free one-camera plan that allows you up to 10 minutes of live viewing per day. When you go over that quota, they basically say check again tomorrow. For more features, you can actually pay for a cloud plan with BlackVue itself. Here's a breakdown of the costs for those different plans. So to me, everything worked great with this new dash cam. If I had one wish, it would be that I didn't keep getting notifications that the Wi-Fi was already in service. And I think that's as I'm driving down the street and there's a new Wi-Fi router that could be connected to, I get the message, BlackVue Wi-Fi already in use, something like that. The answer the company gave was to just press this button, which turns Wi-Fi off, which is great, but it doesn't remember the setting the next time you get into the car. So that means that every time you get into the car, you have to keep pressing this. There may be a setting that allows you to keep that Wi-Fi message permanently off. I could find settings for a bunch of the different voice features, but not that one. If it turns out I come up with that, if I find it in the near future, I'll just update the comments in this video. So be sure to check the comments below for any such updates. The alternative to buying an LTE-enabled device, a dual camera dash cam like this, is a MiFi router that you can install in the car. For a couple $100, you can buy one and put it in, but you still need the plan. So it's just sort of more electronics to worry about. I like the sleeker option, I guess, of just having everything built right into here. So that's my big win. Is if I'm comparing these two cameras, definitely I love this one for that reason. So that is it for this review. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, click like. Don't forget to subscribe and click notifications if you want to see more videos like this.